Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called Space Bomber by Psikyo in 1998, but this is also Flashback episode number 17, so we're going to go back to the year 1998 via the Crazy Climber 80 DeLorean, and let's start with news events of 1998. The NBA lockout shortens the 1998-99 season to just 50 games and begins in the year 1999. The Dodge report reveals an affair that President Clinton had with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. Over 170 are massacred in 3 villages in Algeria. Frozen water is first found on the moon. Another massacre in Algeria claims over 100. The Unabomber Ted Kaczynski is sentenced to life without parole. A 5.9 earthquake in Afghanistan kills 4,000. The 1998 Winter Olympics are held in Nagano, Japan. China Airlines Flight 676 crashes near Chiang Kai-shek Airport. 202 die, all 196 on board. Saddam Hussein reaches a deal with the UN to allow inspectors to return to Baghdad. A massacre in Yugoslavia starts the Kosovo War. Riots against Chinese Indonesians in Indonesia kill around 1,000. Pakistan and India test nuclear missiles, possibly for use against each other. The Akashi Kaikyo Bridge connects Shikoku with Honshu. It's the largest suspension bridge in the world. A 6.6 earthquake kills up to 5,000 in Afghanistan. A train derails between Hanover and Hamburg, Germany, killing 101. The Guinea-Bissau Civil War begins. 3 white men beat and dragged to death James Byrd Jr. in Jasper, Texas. Hate crime. 7.0 earthquake hits Papua New Guinea, leading to over 2,100 deaths. The Second Congo War begins. By its end in 2003, 5.4 million will die. The Yangtze River floods in China, killing over 12,000. U.S. embassies in Tanzania and Kenya are bombed. 224 die. It was ordered by Osama bin Laden. Swiss Air Flight 111 crashes near Nova Scotia en route to Geneva. All 229 die. Google is founded by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. A pipeline in Nigeria explodes. 1,082 die. Hurricane Mitch hits Central America, killing around 11,000. The U.S. Olympic Committee investigates reports that bribes were used to get Salt Lake City the 2002 Olympics. Construction on the International Space Station begins. Kosovo militants attempt to smuggle arms from Albania into Kosovo. Clinton orders airstrikes on Iraq. The U.S. House of Representatives forwards articles of impeachment against Bill Clinton to the Senate on charges of perjury and obstruction of justice. Only the second president to be impeached. And one of TV's greatest comedies, Seinfeld, ends its run. Now let's look at celebrity deaths, famous deaths. Sonny Bono, skiing accident. Junior Wells, Carl Perkins, Jack Lord, Hawaii Five-0, Falco, Carl Wilson of the Beach Boys, Bob Merrill, Henny Youngman, J.T. Walsh, Ray Nitschke, the beloved Harry Carey, Lloyd Bridges, Rob Pilatus of Milli Vanilli, Cozy Powell, Wendy O. Williams, Tammy Wynette, Pol Pot, Linda McCartney, James Earl Ray, Eddie Rabbit, Frank Sinatra, John Derrick, Phil Hartman, murdered by his wife, Barry Goldwater, the Junkyard Dog wrestler, Reg Smythe, created Andy Capp, Maureen O'Sullivan, Roy Rogers, Buffalo Bob Smith, Sherry Lewis, E.G. Marshall, George Wallace, Florence Griffith Joyner, Mary Fran from Newhart, Doak Walker, Dan Quisenberry, Gene Autry, Roddy McDowell, Akira Kurosawa, Mark Belanger, Bob Kane, Red Holzman, Esther Roll, Alan J. Pakula, Flip Wilson, Norman Fell, and Michelle Doris Thomas of The Cosby Show, I believe it was. Now let's look at TV shows of 1998. Crime Stories, WCW Thunder, Kids Say the Darndest Things, Dawson's Creek, Silver Surfer, good cartoon, very short-lived, True Life, Cat Dog, Teletubbies, Celebrity Deathmatch, Sex and the City, Whose Line Is It Anyway, Judge Mills Lane, Any Day Now, That 70s Show, NFL Live, The Wild Thornberrys, Hysteria, Pinky, Elmira and the Brain, The King of Queens, Change of Heart, Felicity, Will and Grace, Martial Law, Inquisition, Charmed, Becker, JJ the Jet Plane, and the Powerpuff Girls. Now let's look at films of 1998. Life is Beautiful, Shakespeare in Love, Saving Private Ryan, great movie, There's Something About Mary, Mulan, Lethal Weapon 4, Dr. Dolittle, Deep Impact, Gods and Monsters, A Bug's Life, Armageddon, Godzilla, Spice World, Deep Rising, Zero Effect, Blues Brothers 2000, The Borrowers, The Wedding Singer, Twilight, not the vampire movie, Big Lebowski, U.S. Marshals, The Man in the Iron Mask, Primary Colors, Wild Things, Lost in Space, Mercury Rising, My Giant, Polly, Elizabeth, Sliding Doors, He Got Game, Bulworth, The Horse Whisperer, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Almost Heroes, The Truman Show, X-Files, Pi, American History X, Small Soldiers, Ants, Madeline, Mask of Zorro, Basketball, Ever After, Halloween H20, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Blade, 54, Rounders, Rush Hour, Urban Legend, Ronin, A Night at the Roxbury, Bride of Chucky, Pleasantville, Waterboy, Meet Joe Black, Waking Ned Devine, the Psycho remake, Rugrats movie, Ringmaster, Star Trek Insurrection, The Prince of Egypt, and The Thin Red Line. Now let's look at number 1 songs of 1998. Continued from last year, Candle in the Wind 97, and Truly Madly Deeply, Together Again, Nice and Slow, My Heart Will Go On from Titanic, Getting Jiggy With It, All My Life, Too Close, My All, The Boy Is Mine, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing from Armageddon, The First Night, 1 Week, Doo-Wop That Thing, Lately, and I'm Your Angel. Other big hits, not quite number 1s, I Don't Want to Wait, Everybody Backstreet's Back, Sex and Candy, and Never Ever. And now let's look at sports of 1998. Super Bowl 32, the Denver Broncos, John Elway, they win their first Super Bowl. They beat Brett Favre and the Packers 31-24. NBA Finals, the Bulls win their final title of the decade, 6 of them. They beat Utah 4-2. World Series, New York Yankees sweep the San Diego Padres 4-0. There's Mariano Rivera, closer. The Stanley Cup, Detroit sweeps Washington 4-0, and there's Vladimir Konstantinov in the wheelchair. He was paralyzed in a limo crash the previous year. NCAA basketball, Kentucky beats Utah 78-69 in the championship game. NCAA football, Michigan defeats Washington State 21-16 to win the AP Poll National Championship in the Rose Bowl. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Tampa Bay then Devil Rays, now just Rays, are added to baseball. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa break Roger Maris's home run record, both of them 70 and 66 homers, respectively. Barry Bonds has since broke that. Golf, Masters champ is Mark O'Meara. U.S. Open champ is Lee Janzen. British Open champ is Mark O'Meara. And the PGA Championship winner is Vijay Singh. Well, that is 1998 in review. Now let us look at our game, Space Bomber by Psikyo in 1998. And that's common with Psikyo games to start with. Please adjust the monitor, during boot up. But this is an amusing little Space Invaders-type game. You control this spaceship, and you shoot down the enemies that descend towards you. But there's a cool little catch. There is a secondary button that allows you to grab enemies, and you can either automatically release them with what you do is you charge your shot button, and then you can release it, and then the enemy will work for you after you've captured it, and it will fire at the enemies or do something to hurt the enemies. Or you can charge with the shot button and then release it with the grab button, and that can really blow up a bunch of enemies together, or hurt a boss character that you release it at. And if you do that, if you capture an enemy and then charge with the shot button, but then press the grab button to release it, you can get a lot of points. Enemies that would normally just turn into little money bags will turn into much bigger money bags. And they will give you a lot more points that way. And the high score list is really, really high. Once in a while you'll be given power-ups. You don't get a power-up too much. I mean, you'll get like strong double shots. See, yeah, there I captured a guy, and you'll keep the guys you captured between levels. There are 4 parts to each level. And there are 6 levels. And there'll be like mini bosses that might be on a level. And once you hear the upbeat music at the very end, you've beaten a level. Now, yeah, these creatures that you capture, ooh, that was nice. See, I'm doing the, like I said, you got 2 buttons. You got a shot and you got a grab button. If you grab an enemy and then you hold down the shot button, you will charge, and eventually you'll see your ship flash. And if you just release it with the shot button, then that enemy will work for you. It will do something against the other enemies. And the turtle ones can be a protective shell that you can be under for a long time and not get hurt. Or you can just release with the grab button, and they'll produce either a big shot that can hurt the boss a lot more, or they can take out a bunch of smaller enemies in a cluster, and you can get big money bags as a bonus prize in return. And there I just beat the first world. Well, yeah, it's a world, and it's got 4 parts to it, and there are 6 worlds. And there are some goofy cutscenes after you complete a world, and there are dogs. I love the graphics in this game. It's very nice. And here, on this part, you can get a whole bunch of points, and you really need to take advantage of it. Grab a couple enemies or so. You can hold up to 3, and that was nice. Since all these enemies are in a big old cluster, you can do 1 charge, and you can get a bonus for a whole bunch of enemies you killed at once. Plus, they'll yield a bunch of money bags, big money bags that you can pick up. You can continue, and when you do continue, I think you keep your score. The lowest high score in the game is like, on the high score list, is like 600,000. And you really, really, really need to learn to do the trick of using a grabbed enemy, charging your shot, and then releasing them with the grab button to take out a group of enemies at once. And there will be like at least another opportunity to get big clusters of enemies. Oh, that sucked. I beat him just as I got killed. Let's grab a couple of these bunnies with these exploding carrots. It's definitely an amusing game. It's very cute. It's got nice graphics. I like it. I definitely never seen it in arcades. This might have just been released in Japan. I don't know for sure. Maybe parts of Europe. But I've definitely never seen it in arcades. Never heard of it until MAME came along. But this is a cute game. Psikyo had some very nice titles. Now here is the boss of the second world. This game does start to venture into bullet hell territory eventually. I think starting on the next world. This isn't bad, especially considering how slow the enemy shots are. Except for those. The crap. Let's just try to take care of this jerk. Whoa! we go. We in trouble. But, yeah, this came out in 1998. What were you doing in 1998? I was, I think that it was my second year of my first apartment. It got really hot in the summertime. It was an upstairs apartment. Got a lot of ants. But the location was very nice. I had like a movie theater and restaurants like right across the street from me. A grocery store right next door to me. It's just a great location. Oh crap. When you run out of lives, the game gives you a little bit of a hint, which is kind of nice as your continue timer counts down. Your title is Beginner President. Yeah, I just made the high score list, almost made 9th. But that's what you need to do in order to get on that list, because it's pretty steep. You have to grab enemies, charge, and then release. Now, sorry, sometimes you can't see my ship. I put on an invincibility cheat just to try to get through the game quicker. This is the first enemy of the next level from where I left off. The game starts getting much tougher with the bullet hell type of territory. But here are some of the later enemies that you'll see in the game. This is a boss of the third world. See, I cleared World 3. We not finished yet. Eat this. What's wrong with the president's mouth? Ugh. Looks like he's been in the desert. It's dry looking, gross. And here's another opportunity to get a ton of points. Just grab a couple enemies and then charge with the shot button and then release with the grab button. But remember to do that. That's the way to get points in this game. Woo. Yeah, that's the way to get on the high score list. And now we'll speed up a little bit later on 2. You have to face this teapot guy. Yeah, sometimes the game, with the invincibility code, the game can see my ship, or it showed up in the video capture, and at other times it did not. And then the boss of World 4, once you beat him, he turns into a monkey. And you can capture those beach balls and fire them back at the monkey. But yeah, there are 6 worlds in this game. You degenerate president, we'll tell the world about your secret sex life. No doubt a jab at Bill Clinton. But yeah, he ended up getting impeached. Only the second U.S. president to be impeached. Now, impeached doesn't mean they were automatically removed from presidency, but they were it's merely like suggesting that he should be that he should quit. And they were pretty serious charges. It was based on his affair with the White House intern, which did happen, and he denied it, and he lied under oath, which is, of course, really frowned upon. But yeah, that was huge news. This is the boss of World 5. Once you shoot him enough, he'll release this UFO to bug you, and then you'll be able to fight him again after you destroy the UFO. Enemies invading, protect the king, and there is a king that you will have to face. But yeah, if you do not release the captured enemy with the grab button and just release them with the shot button, then there's various things that they'll do for you. They might be like a one-hit cannon. You know, when the cannon gets hit by the enemy's shots, it's destroyed. The turtle shield is best, I think. There's the king that you have to face. There's like a mouth that... Notice that enemy, if you saw my previous video of Lode Runner the Dig Fight, that mouth character is in that game, and it came from this game, I'm sure. It might have appeared in earlier Psikyo games, but I don't think so. And then here's the next boss you have to face on 6-3. And yeah, it's starting to venture into bullet hell territory about this point. Maybe not as bad as like a number of other games like Armed Police Bat Rider or ESP Rade, or however it's pronounced. Now we go over to the final boss of the game, and you face a giant garbage can. It'll transform into another monster, another enemy in a moment. That one. It's like a transformer head or something. But once you destroy him, then you have to destroy what looks like an emoji. And there it is. And yeah, its shots reach everywhere. It's really, really difficult to beat. But once you beat it, there's kind of... He's even got a flamethrower. Once you beat him, he's got kind of a cool ending. And we'll see it in just a moment. Yeah, it kind of sucks that the invincibility code makes your ship hard to see. You capture him automatically, and then you fire him back at the enemy fleet, and they're all destroyed. That's kind of cool. And now we'll see, and you get 1,000,000 points bonus. And we'll see the ending. Yeah, I don't know why the president looks so creepy, or his face up close is all messed up. But other than that, I like the look of the graphics. And we surrender. We sorry. Earthlings strong. We're ready to fight you anytime. We'll do anything to protect our beautiful planet. But that was Space Bomber by Psikyo in 1998. Probably Japan only. But this might be the origin of the Psikyo mouth alien thing that, again, we saw in Lode Runner the Dig Fight. But this was Flashback episode number 17. Only 3 more to go. Yeah, looking forward to having these flashback episodes done because they take a long time to put together. But that was Space Bomber by Psikyo in 1998, and hey, I get the first place score. But yeah, you gotta use the grab and charge with a shot, and then release with the grab button. But that's Space Bomber by Psikyo in 1998. Thank you for watching that, and my flashback tribute to the year 1998. This was Flashback episode number 17. Hope you enjoyed, folks. This is Crazy Clown Rennie saying thanks for watching, and I will catch you soon with Flashback episode number 17. Happy Memorial Weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.